What is going on, young men? Listen, on today's video, we haven't talked about money and finances in a while. So I thought I'd do a video today talking about a lot of mistakes that you can avoid at your age with money. Okay, that's what we're going to get into today. Listen, I am the over 50 guy / the online dad. On my channel, I give young men practical advice and tips to help you to avoid a lot of the pitfalls and bad decisions that I made at your age, so that when you get to my age, you will have resources and options and be able to live a life that you want to live. All right, so let's get into it. Men, I remember back in my 20s, I think you guys, I've told you on many occasions how I had good jobs, made a lot of money in my 20s, but really didn't know how to manage it well. And as a result of not knowing how to manage it well, I blew through a ton of it. I think that there are few mistakes that young men make when it comes to money. The first mistake, guys, I believe that a lot of you make is just blowing money. Whether it is clothes, whether it is partying, whether it is chicks, that just blowing through money and not really being cognizant or aware of where your money is going. That is one thing that will harm you quicker than anything else, especially if you get paid weekly like I did. You know, once upon a time, I got paid every week. And again, I was making a lot of money. So the idea was that, you know what, another check is coming Friday. And that caused me to blow through a lot of money. For me, guys, it was, the clothes. It was the clothes and wanting to look good for the ladies. If it wasn't the clothes, it was something that had to do with my car, rims and the sound system and, different stuff like that, guys. The ideal of just blowing through money to impress other people was one of the main things. In trying to impress people that I didn't know, that I really didn't even like, but nonetheless blowing through tons of money. Number two, one thing that I didn't have is a plan for money. I made it and spent it. Looking back on it, guys, if I would have had a savings goal, if I would have had a purchase goal, rental property, my first home, then that would have given me something to save to, or that would have given me some type of direction with my money. And again, I did not have it. I just made it and I spent it. So that's the first pitfall that you guys need to avoid. Just blowing money. And you will blow money if you don't have a plan or a goal for your money. I would recommend to you the first goal, if you haven't moved out of your parents' house, is saving up enough for your first apartment. If you don't have a car, saving enough for your first car. If you have both of those, saving enough to have $1,000 to $5,000 in an emergency fund. See, I didn't have these things, or I wasn't thinking about these things at your age. So that's one thing. Another thing that I see, guys, is just living above your means. My father used to say all the time that if you really want to have money, if you make $20 an hour, you have to live like you make 10. And what was he saying there, man? He was saying that most people, even today, most people that I know, if they make $20 an hour, they live like they make $20 an hour, or they live like they make 30. In other words, they live above their means. It is when you live below what you make, and it is absolutely possible to do. Social media, culture, basically told you that you need to live way above what you have, and nothing can be further from the truth. That the reality of it is, a lot of the stuff that we have, you really don't need. Guys, I had sweaters that was $400 and $500. I had Gator shoes that were $1,000. Fendi Italian pants that were, $200 and $300. Ridiculous, retarded. I didn't make that type of money, and even if you did, it was ridiculous looking back on it to spend that type of money, because it was well above my means, when I could have easily went out and got clothes within my earn range that would have been just as good. So guys, living well above your means will absolutely keep you broke. Again, we talked about having a savings goal. And the reality of it, man, is that you can't save what you don't make. That's why I tell you guys, if you are, between 18 and 29, you should be working a couple of jobs. You got to go to work. Listen, you can't do any of these things if you're barely working. I've always said if you are between 18 and 29, yeah, you should have at least 2 or 3 jobs. One good paying one and a part-time one, or a few part-time ones to make up for a good paying one. But guys, you can't do any of these things that I'm suggesting. Plan on saving for a goal, whether it be your emergency fund, your first car, your first apartment. You can't do any of these things, man, if you're not working, or if you just decide to work here or there. It won't happen, man. It won't happen. I was blessed with good jobs, so I really didn't have to work a second one, but everybody is not going to have that, man. Everybody is not going to have a high-paying job right out the gate. So that means that you're going to have to work 2 or 3 jobs to make the salary of a good high-paying job. And if that's what it takes, guys, that's what it takes. You're young. Some of you don't want to do that because you don't want to take time away from the Xbox. You don't want to take time away from the box that you're chasing. You don't want to take time for just being lazy. And guys, if you're going to have money, you're going to have to get out and make it first. It's not going to come and drop in your lap. You're going to have to get out and work for that and make good decisions. Listen, you can't make good decisions with money you don't have. You're going to have to get off the couch. You're going to have to get out here and work for it. A lot of guys, and if I'm talking to you, the shoe fit, listen, a lot of guys are just flat out lazy. You're just lazy. And you're going to pay a cost for that if you don't break that habit now, right? You have to get out here and work. You will not be able to do any of the things I'm suggesting if you don't have anything to do it with, man. If you're just, graduating high school, if you are just turning 18, you're used to other people taking care of you. That time is over, man. That time is over. It's time for you now to start taking care of yourself. And if you have the help of parents, and that's great, man. But, nobody's going to be inclined to help you when they don't see you helping yourself. You have a car and it breaks down and you're asking people to help you repair your car, but you don't even have a job to fix it yourself. Who's going to want to help you there? Man, you need to be working, right? Because you can't make a plan with money if you don't have any money to plan with. You need to be working. You need to live below your means. If you're making $1,000 a week and you live like that, you will never have money. If you're making $1,000 a week and you live like you make $500, you'll have that. And let's be clear about what makes you live above your means. What makes you live above your means, man, is trying to impress other people, buying stuff you don't need to impress people you don't even like. And quite candidly, people that ain't even paying attention to you. So you have to work. You need to be working. You need to live below your means. You need to have a plan for your money. Again, if you don't have a car, that'd be a great place to start. I'm going to save up enough money to buy me a car outright or put a good down payment down on one. I'm going to save up money if you don't have a place, if you're still living in your parents' house. I'm going to save enough money for my security deposit and a few months' rent. If you have a car and if you are out of the house, you know what? I need to have me enough money set aside for emergencies, right? My daughter's car was just sitting outside in the street. A kid stole her car, was running from the police, blew through the neighborhood and just trashed her car, right? You need to have money set aside for that type of stuff, emergency situations, right? So, men, at your age now, you need to take your finances serious. I didn't. A lot of men my age didn't. We had great looking cars and we had great looking clothes, but if you followed us to the bank, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. At least I didn't, right? So this is the time of your life, guys, where you want to start taking your finances serious again, so that you can start building the right way, so that you don't wake up one day in your 30 some years or 40 some years old and you're realizing all of this, and now you got a late start in the game. This is why I do these videos, man. I'm not coming at you because I know about managing money and I made all the great decisions when I was your age. No, I'm trying to get you to avoid a lot of the mistakes that I made so that you can have finances and resources, right? So working, guys, again, if you are not working more than 60, 70 hours a week and you're between 18 and 29, I got a problem with you, right? Having a plan for your money, having a plan for your savings, and living below your means. Just these three things, man. If you did just these three things to start, we can get off into investing and things like that at a later time. But if your finances aren't in shape, this is a great place to start. Just these three things would be a great place to start getting you on track with your money. Okay? So listen, that's all I have for you guys today. I did a live last Sunday. Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I said I was going to go an hour, and I looked up, man, and it was like an hour and a half just chatting it up with you guys. I am doing that again this Sunday, 10 o'clock. So if you guys would want to join, I would love to have you. Listen, be sure to like and subscribe. That helps the YouTube algorithm so these videos can get out to other young men like yourself. Okay? Listen, I am the over 50 guy / the online dad. We'll be back with another one soon.